Costco, Nike, and FedEx are warning there's more inflation set to hit consumers at holiday approaches, CNBC story. Costco, Nike, and FedEx are not politicians. They're not Democrats or Republicans. Costco has joined a long list of retailers sounding the alarm about escalating shipping prices and accompanying supply chain issues. The warehouse retailer was joined by athletic wear giant Nike and economic bellwethers FedEx and General Mills in discussing similar concerns. The cost to ship containers overseas has soared in recent months. Getting a 40-foot container from Shanghai to New York cost $2,000 a year and a half ago before COVID. You know what it is right now? $16,000. Let me say this one more time. Yeah. So Costco, Nike, and FedEx saying, guys, I'm sorry, we have to raise our prices. People are like, what do you know? You're not going to raise your prices. No, I don't think you understand. These containers, when we get our stuff from Shanghai, used to cost only $2,000. We're paying 8 times more today. $16,000 a pop. The cost includes not only freight, but also higher labor costs, rising demand for transportation and products, plus shortages in computer chips, oils, chemicals, and higher commodity prices. We can't hold on to all of those. Some of that has to be passed on to who? To us. And it is being passed on. We're pragmatic about it, said Costco CFO Richard Galanti. So basic mathematics here. You just saw what's going on. So you're asking a question, Pat, what is it? How is this so different? Bro, it's not a little bit of inflation. If something increased from $2 million to, if something increased from $10 to $12, what do you say? Whatever. If something you're buying normally goes from $10 to $15, what do you say? Dude, that's a little weird. Wouldn't you say that? Like, think about what you buy every month. Imagine if the gym membership's $50 a month. Do you complain? No. Imagine next month 24-Hour Fitness says, it's going to be $75 next month. Now, let me give you a different one. Imagine 24-Hour Fitness all of a sudden says, we know your membership's been $50 a month for the last 10 years. Effective next month is $400 a month. That's just what happened to these guys. How sustainable is that? Where else do you get it from? And China, guess what China's going to say? Don't get it from us. Don't. Go elsewhere. Where do you go?
Well, as a consumer, we have the option to say, well, sorry,
no, you
such
don't.
and such
But
fitness,
you don't.
I'm not getting it.
But you don't have you're not going to have the option. Do you know why you're not going to have the option? Here's why you're not going to have the option. Okay, put two things that we can companies that compete against each other. McDonald's, Burger King. Go Starbucks, what's the other one?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Coffee Bean, okay? I would put McDonald's versus Dunkin' Donuts because the coffee is about the same price, right? Okay, so say I'm Toyota, say I'm Ford, you're GM, and I say, oh man, dude, we got to freaking do something. Let's raise the prices 30%. You're Ford, what do you say? We're going to stick to the same prices. Okay, cool, do it. 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, 3 months, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, your CFO comes in. Remember how you wanted to report your earnings and you wanted EBITDA to be higher? We have depleted our cash this much in the last 3 quarters. You sure you don't want to raise the prices? Then you have a board meeting. CEO of Ford, listen, we're looking at the numbers and the profits in the last 3 quarters and we haven't risen prices, but GM has and Chrysler has and has. What are we going to do to raise prices to match our competitors? And you're the CEO. What do you say? I don't think it's fair. Are you kidding me? The CEO is going to say, okay. All right, so the regular Ford Focus that was $22,000 is now $29,000. Who feels it? So you don't have the choice anymore, Adam. You don't have another alternative.
It's the illusion of choice. I try to look at it from a consumer's perspective. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay, other than saving your money or investing and having a better asset allocation plan, what the hell are you going to do about it? Nothing. It is what it is.
What do you mean? No, what do you mean?
You as a consumer.
If inflation halves your money,
other than save your money and be smart with your money and invest wisely, what else are you going to
do? Really, bro. Okay, so how many people go to Costco?
Millions, I'm sure.
How many people ship stuff? How many people use FedEx? How many people ship stuff?
Of course, a lot.
Okay. You don't have a choice but have that being felt.
That's my point. It's like, all right, it is what it is. I have no say over this inflation.
Of course you don't have say.
Exactly.
What's your point, though?
That's my point, is that it is what it is.
No, but
other than being smart with your own money.
That's not how this thing works. Because you know what comes next? What do you mean it is what it is, bro? You know what comes next? The dollar gets weaker. It's still the strongest currency in the world. The dollar gets weaker. The economy takes a hit. People are out there not knowing how to make an income. More division amongst everybody. Then you have more protesting. Then you have more riots. Then what the hell do you do? This is what comes next. This is not sustainable to go like this. You cannot have fake success for too long, bro. Listen, name any bodybuilder. There was a guy on YouTube that had a YouTube channel, 1.5 million subscribers. I don't remember his name, but Piana, some name like that. And he was everywhere. And he said, for 20 years, I've been straight on steroids and growth hormone. For 20 years. He said that. For 20 years. And he did a video. He says, my hand used to be this big. Now it's this big. I used to be size 11 shoes. Now I'm 13.5. My hat used to be 7. Now it's 8.5. Whatever. He tells you exactly, my heart used to be this size. He's this size. You know what happened to him 3 years ago, 4 years ago? What do you think happened to him? Guy passed away. Cool-looking guy. Spoke very well. Was very eloquent. Passed away. You cannot have fake testosterone for your entire life and you're overdosing on it. America's had fake steroids, growth hormone for how long have we been at zero interest rate at the number that we're less than 1%? America's been on steroids and growth hormone for so long that the moment you get off of it, when you get off of steroids, your skin gets yellow because your body forgot how to produce testosterone. When America gets off of this all growth hormone and steroids, America's economy is not going to know how to reproduce it. It's going to take a while. This is not like another 01 or 08. No, we're not talking about another 01 or 08. Yeah. This is catastrophic. And the fact that Michael Burry has the audacity to go out there and talk about this stuff, more freaking power to him. It's forcing us to have the conversation. It's for somebody to actually make you question that inflation is not there. No. And Powell, you're not talking about lightweight people. Yellen, people like that are saying, no, this is normal. No, what the hell do you mean this is normal? It's not normal.
Lying through the teeth.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's the lying through the teeth, because I think that's not a Republican Democrat thing. I think everybody's lying through their teeth. I think it's more the following. I think here's what it is. Okay, I think it's more from the standpoint of. I'll look at it. I think press on one more time. I think it's from the standpoint of the following thing. Do your parents lie to you?
Yeah.
For how long? Let me ask you a question.
My whole life, but it's for your own good.
Is it good that your parents lie to you? In some cases. Think about the question right there.
It depends on what they're lying about. White lies, whatever. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. You're 4 years old. Mommy, how are babies are born? Is it good for your mom to tell you exactly how babies are born?
Probably not at that
Probably
point.
Not. They're lying to you, though, right? Parents lie.
The boy watch.
Do you think it's good to say Santa Claus is fake at 3 years old to a kid?
No.
But you're lying.
Yeah.
Parents are liars. Okay? Fine. But you lied to me at 3. Fine.
Truth
4.
dispellers.
Fine. If you're lying to me at 38, what the hell are we doing? I understand Yellen lying. I understand there's a part of it. But dude, this is no longer a time to lie. You have to come up and say, we have an issue, America. Here's what we need to start doing. Save the freaking money. Kick back a little bit, okay? Chill out with the spending habits. Let's kind of change some of these habits that we have. No more talking to American adults as if they're 4-year-olds. You're scared shitless whether they're going to believe in Santa Claus anymore. Tell them the damn truth. I'm 40 years old. Santa doesn't exist. Tell me he doesn't exist. Tell me some of these things here. It's time for me to know. And these guys are treating adults as if they're kids. No, inflation is going to hit us. This is not something that's fake. This is not something that's just a rhetoric.
They're lying because they think they're protecting us, right? And that's their whole motive. And what's going to happen when all these things do happen? The global shipping crisis. You're going to watch the Christmas shopping this year. Wait till you see what you're not being able to get. Wait till you see how much your Nike shoes are getting jacked up. This is all real. I'll tell you another thing. I can see any day 6 of these huge tankers or these huge vessels that carry all the goods from China. I can see them every day from my deck with binoculars. They're out there. I don't know if they're coming in and they can't get in or if they've unloaded and they're heading back. I've never seen it before. But if you look at these aerial images of Long Beach or even in New York, there's 80 ships waiting a month to unload. All this stuff is going to happen. So when and then they think they could just put a Band-Aid on it with $3.5 trillion and just keep paying money. But who are we going to blame when this all the shit does hit the fan with inflation, with you're going to the grocery store and things aren't there and you can't order things on Amazon that you're used to? Will they blame the Democrats? And if it coincides with a market crash, will that be the impetus to get people out?
Mitch McConnell is just as much at fault for this as any Democrat, number one. Number two, I think the big difference here, guys, and you both made really, really good points. The big difference is here, your parents lie to you because they love you. You know, they want to protect you. these politicians are lying to us because they think we're stupid,
and they want to protect themselves,
and they want to protect their jobs, and they want to protect their Q score, and they want to protect their chance at re-election. All right, your parents lie for your own good. Politicians lie for their own good, and that's something that needs to be understood.
Brody knows what he's talking about.
Democrat, what's this? Democrat representative told colleagues.
When you were talking about the fact that this is kind of like an engineered crisis, they're not hiding that. This is from March of last year. This is the majority whip, the House Majority Whip, the number 2 Democrat in the entire Congress, okay? Tim Clyburn. This is when COVID was raging. Everything was just getting shut down. We had no idea. We thought that this was the Black Plague still, okay? New York was completely empty. His response is, the coronavirus is a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. This has been played out, guys, for 18 months. This is not new. As soon as this thing happened, all right, people in power saw this and said, okay, open the piggy bank. Do you want the Green New Deal? Here it is. What do you need? Who are our donors? Let's get it to them right here. And they didn't lie about it. This was one of the times where they said the quiet part out loud. The coronavirus is a chance to fit this world in our vision.
I get that. And by the way, listen, both sides are opportunistic in what they're doing. Both sides are opportunistic. You have to know. Well, one side is wanting to put the more the onus on you. The other side wants to put the onus on rich people. So one is saying, look, you can do something about your life. The other side is saying, no, poor you. You can't do anything about your life. You're a victim. Let us help save you, right? One is trying to be your hero. The other one's trying to say, why don't you do something about yourself? Because when you win, you feel better about yourself. When you accomplish something, you feel good about yourself. What happened when you won a game? You felt good about yourself. What happened when you got that job and you got a promotion? You felt good about yourself. What happened when you got, first $10,000 in the bank? You felt good about yourself. What happened when you bought your first car without needing mommy and daddy? You felt good about yourself. This is all confidence-boosting opportunities, right, that we have. One side saying, no, you don't understand. You are a victim. You're not as smart as them. We know what we're doing. We know what's best for you. The other side is saying, I believe in you. I think you're capable. Why don't you go do something about it? Let's go. And I think you can pull this off. Let's see what you got. How bad do you want it? It's a different level of coaching on what you got. So I'm not surprised that this is taking place. All I'm saying is when it comes down to the numbers right now, what we're talking about, Adam, this is not the same thing here.
Yeah, but when was this speech that he gave?
March 2022.
So
2020, last
March
year.
2020.
23rd, yeah.
Okay. So Trump was still president. Republicans still controlled the Senate at that point.
Yeah.
Trump, one thing that I love about Republicans is they'll talk about, not spending as much, lowering the deficit, balancing the budget, and then they don't fucking do it. Like Trump spent as much money and with stimulus as any Democrat ever. So rhetoric is one thing.
Stop.
Rhetoric is one thing, and then what they actually do is another.
Stop. Who has to pass it? Who has to pass the stimulus?
House and Senate, and the president has to sign off on it.
Who controlled the House?
Democrats had the House, Republicans had the Senate, and Trump was president at the time of this story.
So what does he do at a point like that?
Listen, this isn't a debate. He passed it.
No, but it's not about he passed it.
Do you remember how it passed?
They create a climate for it to be passed. So fine, now go there. Do you think at the time when he passed it, it was necessary?
They held the country hostage.
Now I'm asking you, do you think at the time it was necessary to pass it?
In hindsight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think it's necessary today to do a $3.5 trillion bill?
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of printing of the money, like to your point.
Okay, so
it's a slippery slope. But you're basically trying to say, like, I don't know what your intention was, but at the time of this speech, that reinvent the wheel,
when
whatever.
we did the podcast, did we support it?
Did we do the podcast in March of 20? We started.
When we were talking about it, did we support it? Did we support it?
I think it was we had an open forum debate about it. Yeah,
but were we like, hey, let's go out there and spend all the money? Was I for printing money nonstop?
No, not at all.
Am I a guy that's saying let's keep printing money and give money away to people?
No.
But if you shut me down and I'm California and I can't get out, you don't have the right to shut me down without paying me.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, hey, you can't come to work. I'm sorry, bro. What do you want me to do? I have to take care of my family. At least pay me. We have to pay you. You can't do one without the other. Because if you do, and if they don't pay, remember what the conversation we had with they said, if they don't pass this year, what do you think is going to happen in the streets? People are going to find a way to get their money. How to get their money. Remember there was like a 3-month period where people were worried on the streets what's going to be happening? You don't remember the crime was up?
Of course.
Breaking into houses? Do you forget those stories? So you can't corner one side and put people in their houses and tell them you can't get out and not have to make that move. That's not the case today. But today they want to do more than they did a year ago.
My point is this. Do Democrats not know how to balance budget? The last time we had a balanced budget was under Bill Clinton. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
The last time we had a balanced budget.
This is not,
Newt Gingrich.
Let's not pretend that Republicans don't spend money too.
What part of this conversation is left or right? What part of this conversation is left or right?
I think Gerard's point was that it was a left thing.
Gerard's point is a different.
Yes, that's my point.
My point on this was that this isn't a market correction that we're hearing. This isn't a market correction that we're living through. My whole point of bringing this up isn't Democrat Republican. It's the fact that this isn't a market correction against free money in the marketplace or a derivative problem. This is a government created problem.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.